Nick Estes here, and today I want to talk to you about one of the most important aspects of your business, lead follow-up. All right, are you following up with your leads enough, okay? This is one of the most important aspects of your flipping or wholesaling business, and probably one of the biggest mistakes people are making is not following up with their leads enough, not staying consistent, and making sure they're staying on top of these leads, okay? You're paying for the leads, you're going through a lot of work to get these leads and to talk to these potential sellers. And a lot of people are letting these kind of fall through the cracks. They're not staying on top of it, and they're not making sure they're staying on top of mind with these sellers, okay? It's a lot less expensive to stay in touch with these people and continually follow up with them to see if you can make it into a deal than it is to keep on trying to grab that low-hanging fruit and pounding the pavement and finding new deals, okay? So it's very, very important that your follow-up game is on point, okay? So let me kind of go through today kind of my follow-up process, and I'll kind of show you the different stages that I have, and hopefully you can implement some of this into your business. All right, so in my business, I have a kind of an automatic follow-ups in my CRM. I use Podio. You can use whatever you want. I don't care if you use an Excel, spreadsheet. No matter what you do, just make sure you keep organized. Make sure you know when you talk to this person, and keep a note of when you need to follow back up. Set a reminder for you in Google if you don't have something automated. Whatever it takes, just make sure you're staying on top of these people. Okay, now this goes through no matter what type of marketing you're doing. So if you're driving for dollars, you're doing bandit signs, any kind of online, SEO or Facebook ads or voicemail drops or cold calling. I do all those things in my business. And no matter what I'm doing, I'm always setting a precedent to make sure that I'm going back and I'm following up with these people depending on what stage they're in the selling process. Okay, now this follow-up can be a combination of a bunch of things. You don't want to just do calls, okay? I want you to text these people if you have their number and if you already talked to them. And I'm also email, try to get their email address, okay? Stay present, okay? When they think about selling, they should think of you first. And the more you follow up with them, the more rapport you build, the more they will think of you, okay? So let's kind of go through the different stages. So as a lead comes into my business, I call that a new untouched lead, okay? And at that point, it's kind of a blitz. Now, when I say blitz, when it comes in, depending on where I am, I make it, so we kind of go through and we talk to someone and we'll get a little more information, and then we make a point to call them back within 24 hours to give them an offer, okay? A cash offer on their property. Now, you want to make sure that if you say 24 hours, you're calling it back within 24 hours because you're going to set it right at the bar from the standard that you're professional and you're on top of your game. If you call them back in 3 days and you say 24 hours, they're going to think you're kind of wishy-washy, okay? So make sure you do what you say, first of all. Okay, now when I say untouched blitz, now I'm calling this person back twice a day for at least a couple weeks if I can't get a hold of them. There's times when a lead comes in, we'll talk to them a little bit, and I'll get some information on their property and get a ballpark price of what they might want to sell for, and then we'll do some research. We'll say, okay, we'll call you back within 24 hours with our cash offer. Now, sometimes you can't get a hold of the person back, right? So I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to get a hold of this person because that's a potential deal if the numbers are close, okay? So call them back a couple times a day. Call, text, email, whatever you got to do for a couple weeks. At that point, if you can't get a hold of them, see if you can get some alternative numbers for them, and then maybe you drop them down to a bi-weekly follow-up process if you can't get a hold of them after 2 weeks. But make sure you're staying on top of that lead. If it's new and it's untouched and you haven't talked to them and presented an offer, you want to make sure that you're giving them that offer right away, okay? Because they showed interest. So you want to make sure that you do whatever you can to get back in touch with that person if you think it's a hot lead or potential deal, okay? The next one I call the hot list. Now this hot list is what we put people into if I believe that they have a high likelihood of making a deal. If I think I can close on this property, we're really close on numbers, if the circumstances all work out, this is what I call the hot list. Now, I talk to my team every single morning about this hot list, however many is on this hot list. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 50, whatever it may be. Talk to your team every single day, go through that hot list, and make sure you're doing everything you can to stay on top of that hot list and bring from a hot list to an under contract property, okay? Every single day, that needs to be top of mind. Now, some of those aren't gonna turn into under contract. Sometimes you have to move those down into maybe just an interested, okay, with another bi-weekly phone call to stay in touch with them. But those need to be the ones that you're thinking about closing. Make sure you're staying in touch with them every single day, or you're doing something to keep the negotiation going back and forth, and you're talking to your team about that list, okay? So that's a hot list. Now, under the hot list, I have interested. Now, this is the people that are somewhat interested. We think we might be able to get a deal. Maybe we're off a little bit on numbers. Maybe they're not quite ready to sell yet. But whatever it may be, they're just not quite ready for that hot list yet, but they are interested. You could tell they want to sell. We just got to come to terms, okay? Now, for these people, I put them on a bi-weekly follow-up. Same thing. Make sure every other week we're following up with a phone call, a text, or an email, and we're staying in touch with them. We know it could be a deal, and hopefully we can bring them from the interested up to the hot list into the under contract properties, okay? So as of right now, we have let's review. We have a new untouched, which is every single day we're calling twice a day. We have the hot list we're calling every day. Then we have the interested, which is bi-weekly. Okay, so under the interested is the people that I call the retail follow-up. Now, these are the people that, they're just, they want retail for their house. No big deal. A lot of people want retail. A lot of the leads you're gonna run into, people want retail. They know what their house is worth. They don't have to sell. They're not in any need, okay? There's low motivation. Now, for these people, I like to do a monthly follow-up, okay? Because circumstances do change. People, things happen. Things happen in life, and maybe they have to move, or maybe something happened in their life where all of a sudden now they have to sell, okay? If you're doing that monthly follow-up with these people, if they need to sell, they're gonna think of you. You'd call them at the right time, and you might be able to make a deal. Okay, as you can see here, no matter where they are in the process, I make sure we're doing a follow-up, okay? Now, under the retail follow-up, I have the not interested. Now, there's a lot of people that come into your pipeline for whatever reason, and maybe they're just not ready to sell, they don't want to sell. We don't know how they get in there, but it just, the circumstances is they came in, we talked to them, but now they're not ready. Okay, fine. They're not interested. I do a 6-month follow-up on these people. Once again, circumstances do change, okay? So check in with them in 6 months and see if they might be interested in selling now. And hopefully you can bring that back up the ladder and bring it into a deal. Now, after the not interested, I have a send to realtor. Okay, so this is kind of the lowest of the low on the pole of on leads here. Now the send to realtor. Now these are people that after doing some research, we realized that they owe too much in either taxes or mortgage or a combination of both, and they owe more than the property is worth. So even if they want to sell, even if we want to buy this property, the numbers won't work. So we'll never be able to buy this property unless it appreciates a ton, right? So what we do with these is we send these to a realtor. Now, hopefully we can, get a percentage from the realtor for recommending this, and it's a win-win, okay? They get to sell their property, even though they owe retail on it, and we get a little piece of the pie, okay? So as you can see here, there's no lead left behind on any of this. You're working very, very hard to get these leads into your pipeline, and you need to do everything you can to get this deal done. So either this deal is going to be completely dead by the end of the deal, by the end of this, or it's going to turn into a deal. Okay, so as you can see, no deal left behind. Let's go through it one more time for you. I got the new untouched lead. It's a blitz. We're calling them a couple times a day for a couple weeks until we present them the offer. Okay, we have the hot list. This is the list that we think could be potential deals. We're calling them daily. I'm talking to my team daily about these deals, and we're bringing these deals home, okay? We're gonna make it happen. We got the interested. They're somewhat interested. We're gonna do a bi-weekly follow-up. We got the retail follow-up. These people want retail for their house. We'll follow up with them monthly. We got the not interested. They came into your pipeline for whatever reason. They don't wanna sell, but in 6 months, I'm gonna call them again and see if they change their mind. And then I have the send to realtor. These people owe too much on their property. I can never make it work, so send it to a real estate agent, see if I can get a cut of the pie. And that's really it. So as you can see here, follow up, consistency, okay? Make sure you're staying on top of your leads. All right, guys? I hope you found this helpful. Please leave me a comment, subscribe to this page. If you found this helpful whatsoever, follow me on Instagram at Nick Estes, and join my free Facebook group to talk to me, get some insights with some other people in the group, and learn as much as you can at mastering wholesaling and house flipping with Nick Estes. And I'll see you there.